This is Don Gibb from Chicago, Ogre. And you nerds are listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic, you nerds.
Welcome to the Cinescape Podcast, where we're changing the landscape of movie and TV news and reviews. Happy, beautiful Saturday evening here from Westfield, New Jersey. I am Sean Harrigan, joined as always by the rumbling, bumbling, fumbling Bill Tozzi.
I got nothing, man. This fucking microphone is like all jacked up here. Hi.
Bill's got mic problems. I'm having computer problems. Mike, you got any problems over there?
Yeah, just that my mic's not on. No, just the fact that when you eat really hot sauce the night before, it comes back to bite you in the ass the next day.
Right?
Literally.
Literally, yeah.
Doesn't it, now for our listening audience, so Mike, last night, if people were tuning in cross-platform here, they would have saw you try the Mad Dog 357 hot sauce.
Yes. 357,000 Scoville.
Yes, that I tried several months ago to my own demise, and that shit just makes you like physically weak afterwards, does it not? Like you know, you go through that initial motion where, all right, you eat it, you're like, okay, I'm a badass, like nothing yet, but then it hits you and it just dries you up and it burns up inside, but then afterwards you feel sick and
it's exhausting.
Very exhausting.
It's exhausting to
eat
that type of hot sauce.
Yes.
But I'm going to do a plug on your show.
Okay.
For a YouTube channel that I actually 100% love, which is Hot Ones.
Ooh.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
All right. Here's I'm giving the guys from Cinescape homework for the evening.
Oh my.
Hot Ones is put out by First We Feast, I think is what it's called. First We Feast is the channel, and Hot Ones is a show where this guy brings on all these different celebrities. They've had Steve-O from Jackass. They've had Kevin Hart. They've had all these different celebrities that go on there, and they go from like regular hot sauce to burn your asshole hot sauce with wings.
Oh my God, we're burning alive!
Basically. And as they go through it, it's insane. He's had rappers on there that bail out like after the second wing.
Yeah.
But it's really fucking cool. Go check that out on YouTube.
Check that out. What is that again? What
That is Hot Ones.
Hot Ones.
Hot Ones put out by First We Feast on YouTube.
There you have it.
Go
check it out.
You'll find it. And then if you want to check out me eating hot sauce, just friend request me on Facebook.
Friend request Michael Francolino on Facebook. It's not a hard last name to spell. You'll find him on Facebook. And his mom won't be mad at him for very much longer,
dude,
hopefully.
It's bad when you're a grown-ass man. Your mom's like...
Mike, I'm disappointed in you!
Yeah.
Get your shit together! Is that what she sounds like?
You're too old to be doing this.
What's her first name?
Deborah.
So she goes by Deb. Deb Francolino! Michael, you're an embarrassment. Don't come to Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh.
Don't bring that hot sauce with you.
Don't bring Bill Tozzi. He's a bad
Don't bring Bill to anything.
that alcoholic.
I'm showing up anyway. Moving on, though.
Yeah.
To the intro of the show.
Everything. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by Alternate Dimension Toys. Stop in today for the largest selection of toys, collectibles, Funko Pop, figures. Bill, you know, I was in there the other day talking with our good buddy Andy over there. I bought a nice 6-inch Supreme Leader Snoke Funko
Yeah,
Pop
but you know what?
there.
That's not my gripe with you.
Uh-oh. What
okay?
happened?
So you buy a pop, one that I saw on the internet, you posted. It was the Marvel Madcap villain.
Yes.
And I saw a little thread, and you got into a little price debate about the whole metallic, non-metallic version.
Correct.
Yet, I know you, and you'll spend $50 at a time on multiple pop figures that are absolute garbage, but you just need them in your collection.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you spend the extra money and just get the better version? You know, it's like you could have a Ford Focus or a Ford Mustang, but you're like, nah, I want the Focus, but give me that undercoating.
Well, if it was one that I like really desired, then maybe I would put a little more out for that one. But just something that I would just want to have just to have. That's fine.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I don't get all nutty with the the different versions and alternate things that you get into with these guys. I just have 123 of them.
Yeah.
Jesus.
123. Honey, we need to move our house.
Do you have one that's like your favorite?
Ooh, that's a good question. I do love my Jack
that's a
Burton
lot.
one.
Oh,
Jack
that's
Burton?
it?
Yeah. He's actually like my second most what am I thinking of? Like the second most expensive one.
How much? If I could
I
ask.
think he's worth like $38.
Okay, it's not too bad.
Not bad.
If
I
you
spent
use
that on my
the,
DeLorean one that came with Marty.
Yeah, if you use the Pop Price Guide website, it'll give you the market value for some of the ones that you have in your collection. It'll give you like a top 10.
That's pretty much
too.
what I use to shop.
Yeah,
like
at all times.
Like it's pretty convenient to have like a marketplace website that prices the value of these things as
Called
you're buying.
Amazon.
So it's cool because I can go on to this website, and as I'm like looking at something on the shelf, I can evaluate it and see if it's like worth my purchasing. Like, is there stock value in this that I could sell it for more? And that's why.
Now Sean has told us his favorite. I'm sorry to hijack your show, but I love learning about this stuff. You got your favorite.
Yes.
Do you have your least favorite? The one that you actually look at and go, why did I even buy that one?
I would say no, because they're all my children. I love them all.
Your children?
Yeah, they look very nice together.
Do you
in my
go home
man
and say,
cave.
"Daddy's home"? Do you like?
Sometimes.
Hello, Daddy's home. What's for dinner?
I gently caress them.
Yeah,
and
he's naked with just a towel around him. Just
yeah.
Who wants a bowl of Fruit Loops? Hello.
No, I mean I've never bought any of that I don't like. I wouldn't waste money on something like that, even if you think the collection itself is a waste of money. But
just your wife does.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Right.
It's not like
she secretly loves them.
It's not like
too.
certain
She looks for stuff. She buys me them.
It's not like certain people compare it to the Beanie Baby age. I mean, nobody does that.
Right.
Fuck Beanie Babies.
Mike, what's your favorite Beanie Baby?
Oh, the Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
There was this unicorn that was like rainbow.
Right.
My mom had it.
Oh, yeah?
It was very badass.
Oh, man.
Then she had the giraffe one, which was
Ooh.
very, very rare
Ah.
to get the giraffe Beanie Baby. So
Yeah.
that one was in
Ooh.
a plastic case, and nobody was
Yeah.
allowed to touch that one.
Moving on. So.
Wow.
I also have. No, moving on. I also
No
have
moving on,
the
okay.
ICP Beanie Boys. I do still have those.
Beanie Boys. That
Yes.
sounds gay.
They're still mint in the package.
Yeah, mint in your package. Hello. Get it?
All right, enough about Mike's minty package.
Before we get into everything else, we're going to let you guys know that we are supposed to be having a special guest calling in just a few minutes.
Is
So
huge.
hopefully he didn't forget. But we do have Jim Vejvoda from IGN, like I said, calling in about 5 minutes. So as we are waiting his call, we will get right into our topics for the day. And you'll have to excuse me because my computer's being an asshole right now.
Dude,
so
stop downloading so much porn.
I can't help it.
Time to liquidate the Popco things and
Popco.
Popco. What are they? Pop Funk. Funko.
Terry Funk?
The
Terry
Terry
Funk.
Funk. What is it?
Parliament Funkadelic figures.
All right, I think it's kind of working now. Let's get right into this shit, Bill.
All
We
right.
are going to be getting into our buzz. we're gonna read one. Should we wait? Hold on, we might have to wait.
Nah, don't even read one.
Yeah, we're not even gonna read
Jim's-
one.
No.
Mike is about to put us in with Jim Vejvoda right
We're
now
about to
from
go
IGN.
live right off the air here
beep,
with
beep,
Jim Vejvoda of IGN as he's calling in right now. We're going to get him plugged in, patched in, wired in, all in, thrusted in,
No pressure to
sliding in.
no pressure to Mike to make sure that this.
No pressure here, Mike. Patch
You
him
better
in
not
through
mess
the
this one up, Mike.
through
You
the
better
conductor
not.
board. And
All
we're
right,
live.
we are getting the okay signal. We have IGN's Jim Vejvoda on the line. Jim, how's it going today?
Hey guys.
Hey, thanks for calling in,
Hey,
Jim.
Jim.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no problem. So we are very excited to have you on the show. I'm a big fan of yours and everything that you guys do over at IGN, and I know my partner Bill is as well. So thanks for taking a couple of minutes out of your day to talk with us. So just before we get into anything else, just let our listeners know kind of your role over at IGN and what you do over there.
I am the executive editor of movies for IGN.com. So basically, anything movies related that goes up on the site, I have some sort of hand in, whether it's writing it up myself, like reviews, things like that, posting of trailers, acquiring exclusives, doing interviews, all that. Pretty much I'm responsible for all the day-to-day operations of movies content on IGN.
Awesome. So judging just from the movies that we've gotten this year, if you had to maybe give your like top 5 of ones that you've seen, what would you throw into that list?
Now that's a good question. You would think for somebody who covers movies, I would have an ongoing kind of a list going in my head, but I really don't. I mean, I would say just off the top of my head, I really I enjoyed Wonder Woman a lot, but I think Spider-Man: Homecoming probably takes the edge in that one for me because I just
It's fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean it was a lot of fun, but I loved Wonder Woman. I enjoyed Split. I enjoyed let's see here, probably I think there's probably some like smaller movies out there that I'm forgetting. I liked Atomic Blonde, but I will say that it's kind of dimmed a little bit for me. And since I've seen it, I remember walking out being like, "Oh, that was really cool." A lot of like style over substance, but I enjoyed it. But I have to say, it hasn't quite stayed with me the way I thought it would. But I liked It Comes at Night. Actually, I liked that. I thought that was interesting. It was basically a the thinking man's Walking Dead.
Right.
Well, I liked Detroit a lot. I liked it more than our reviewer did. That's for sure. But, he wasn't that nuts about it. And I was like, damn it, I guess I should have reviewed that. But no, I did. I liked the other one. I liked I Am Not Your Negro, the about James Baldwin. I thought that was a really powerful film. Lost City of Z, I liked a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of good ones this year, but I can't say that it's been like an overwhelmingly amazing summer movie season.
Right, I definitely wouldn't either.
I think there's been a lot of disappointment there. Oh God, Get Out. I liked Get Out and Logan.
I still didn't see that one yet. But one of the films of contention around here is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Bill and I and our group of friends, we're all pretty much of the same mindset of that. We really, really disliked that movie. What were your thoughts about that one?
I have to say that's one of the few Marvel movies that I haven't seen more than once because I liked it, but I thought it was just a case of sequelitis where they did repeat a lot of the same beats as the first movie. And it was a little too messy for my liking and just very, like, everything was trying that little bit too hard. I think I made the case in one of our videos that it was sort of like, when you're like 10 years old and you start to realize that you can make adults laugh, you start trying that little bit too hard to be funny to the point where they tell you to shut up. That's what it felt like sometimes with Volume 2, You're like, you're that kid that finally realized, I can make them laugh, and then you keep crying. They're like, shut up, we're talking.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I felt like they went ultimately with that movie. So.
And Jim, this is Bill, and what I have to say about Guardians 2 is that I feel like the thing that ruined some things for me as a fan who's been watching from the beginning is that this movie, with all the extra laughs and everything added to it, I feel like Guardians in general was a breakthrough franchise for Marvel, but also general audiences that brought a lot of new moviegoers to the MCU experience. And so now that you have Guardians 1 and then Guardians 2, even more with the jokes and the comedy and stuff like that, I feel like that's now what the general masses you know, that's what they, you know, expect now to go to these movies, whereas, you know, fans of the comics and the now movies, you know, we've been watching this since 2008 unfold, and we're, you know, it's kind of like a Game of Thrones saga here, where, you know, it's a drama now. We want to see what happens next. We want to, you know, get, you know, a little gritty. And do you feel, you know, sort of the same way about that perception?
Well, I mean, I think in fairness to Marvel movies, I mean, they do have their moments of drama. I mean, just this time last year we had Civil War, and that was certainly not being sold, despite the appearances of Spider-Man and Ant-Man and even Falcon. You know, it wasn't exactly being sold as a whackety schmackety do kind of comedy.
Whackety schmackety do.
You know, and then Winter Soldier, you know, and that's my favorite of all the Marvel movies, of all the MCU movies. So I mean, they've definitely taken their dramatic turns, but I think ultimately the Marvel movies are sort of like, they're basically 80s movies. They're 80s action comedies and I think they reflect the sensibility of the guys who run Marvel in the era that came up in enjoying movies. So I feel like, you know, if somebody like a Martin Brest was still making movies, you know, he's the guy who did like Beverly Hills Cop, and, you know, he's done a lot of things, but, you know, you could get somebody like that to make a Marvel movie if they were doing them back in the day. Like, they're basically, to me, like 80s action comedies.
Yeah.
But you know, I get where the fans are going, that it's a little too glib and a little too lighthearted, but
yeah,
you know,
I feel like they're adding
escapist,
humor and comedy into, you know, like Guardians 2 or these other movies now, where it's really unwarranted and it really detracts a lot from the movie and kind of, you know, makes light of things too much, and it, you know, it lowers the stakes and it lowers, you know, the sense of anticipation for, you know, darker things to come. Like, we're going to have Infinity War finally next year, but are we going to want to see Star-Lord cracking stupid jokes while Thanos is throwing a planet at him? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be moments where they're trying to, like, break the tension, but from the Infinity War footage that I saw at D23 and then they showed it again at Comic-Con, there are a few moments where, like, I just interviewed James Gunn the other day and I didn't have time to ask him this, but there are a few moments in that footage where, you know, Star-Lord is not laughing. He looks pretty scared, and if there's anybody who's going to wipe that smirk off his face, it's Thanos.
Right.
And so I think definitely once they release that Infinity War footage, people are going to see, like, okay, you know, sure, there's a lot of laughing and joking, but things look pretty dire for all of our heroes from the footage they showed. I mean, the dude throws like a moon or something at one point. Like, you know, like I don't think they'll be cracking much wise around it.
Yeah, I saw the video from the angle of somebody's crotch
the
in the front row, and it was pretty good from what I saw.
Speaking of Comic-Con, Jim, what were some of the cooler panels that you got to see while you were out there?
I mean, look, the Marvel panel is always the tough one to top. That's why they close up the show every year. I enjoyed. I saw about the first half hour of Kingsman 2, and I thought they were going to show that whole half hour, the first act at Comic-Con, and they didn't. They only showed like 3 choice scenes. So, you know, they showed it to the first half hour, like, to press a few times. So I'm a little surprised that they didn't show that to fans too. It's clearly ready to go. But I would say the Kingsman 2 stuff was definitely a big thumbs up for me. You know, I wasn't as down on the Justice League trailer as everyone else. I thought it looked better than the last one.
Yeah, I did too.
But there's just, I mean, that deck is stacked pretty heavy against that movie. It's got a real uphill battle to win back people who are skeptical about it.
Yeah.
Even with the success of Wonder Woman, like, even if they keep pushing Wonder Woman front and center, the risk, of course, is, well, what if Justice League is no good? Does that tarnish Wonder Woman and her brand, if you will? And I don't think it will too much, because I think people still remember how much they liked that movie, but it's definitely a risk, you know?
Jim, would you say that that you feel that the rest of the DC universe is in a state of disarray?
I mean, I think I think there's a constant recalibration going on over there. I'm not quite sure exactly who's in charge. I mean, you get the sense that it's Jeff Johns and John Berg, the guys from DC Films. But the thing that people have to keep in mind is that, you know, Warner Brothers has to make a bunch of different kinds of movies, and they have to market and sell a bunch of different kinds of movies. Marvel only makes Marvel movies. Disney isn't making Marvel movies. Marvel is making their movies. There's no real DC, even though there's a DC Films kind of entity, but there's no actual production kind of apparatus the way there is with Marvel Studios, at least not yet that I can see. And so until there is that, and they can focus solely on making those movies, you know, you're gonna see them shifting based on how one movie does versus another. So I think DC Films just have to, if they can show the level of kind of competence and confidence that they had in Wonder Woman, then I think they'll be in better shape. They need more Wonder Woman and less Suicide Squads and BVSs, you know, things that are divisive. Even if they make money, you know, it divided fans, and and critics clearly were not fans of those two movies, but they loved Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman is now like I believe it's the second biggest movie domestically of the year, the biggest movie of the summer. You know, past Guardians 3, still behind Beauty and the Beast though. But yeah, I think it's DC just has to figure out what stories do you really want to tell, and who are the characters that you want to be your sort of like brand ambassador.
Jim, I feel like you're holding back from being angry at this a little bit. Like just say, like, you know, they got to figure this shit out.
Years of being like that, I've kind of just reached the Zen place now where I'm like, well, it ain't my money, you know?
Right?
You know, I hope you make them work. I'd love to love them, but you know, they'll just keep rebooting until they get it right.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, Jim, I was texting with actually a mutual friend of both of ours.
Wait, you were texting somebody?
Yeah, Rob Keyes from Screen Rant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a buddy of ours. I had actually met him at the Logan press screening earlier this year. He said to say hi. First, he actually said, "Tell him he's
Rob.
He said, "Tell him he's an asshole," and I didn't know if he.
Well, tell me something I don't know.
I didn't know if he actually meant it or not. He's like, "Oh no, I love him. Tell him I said hi."
Nah. And even if he did, it wouldn't matter. You get in line, pal.
Get in line, pal.
But I did
like saying hello.
I did want to press you about something. So you are a competitor in the movie trivia Schmodown, and you won your last matchup with Eric, who is actually no longer your partner. Can you let us know a little bit of behind the scenes on what actually happened there?
No, Eric got an awesome job he could not turn down at Marvel, working for Marvel.com. And Eric Goldman is a giant fanboy, a giant Marvel fanboy in particular. He loves some DC stuff, but he is a Marvel boy, and this job just kind of came up, and he'd have been a fool to say no to it. I mean, this is, you know, he's living the dream. So I wish Eric the best. I think he's an awesome dude, and we had a great 11 years of working together through, you know, good times and bad. And I think, you know, in terms of like the Schmodown stuff, I mean, that's really Christian Harloff's call about what he would like to do. But, you know, we haven't filled Eric's role yet. We are looking for a TV editor. So if you know anybody, have them check out IGN's job site. But for right now, I mean, it's Christian's call. But if he wants to like pair me up with somebody else as a non-team IGN thing, I'd be down for that. I enjoyed. He talked to me about it for ages, trying to get me on, and I just, you know, I'm not based anywhere near the Valley. This is a total LA thing. Like, they're out in Burbank, which is, might as well be on another planet when you're coming from the west side in the middle of the afternoon. I'm like, dude, that's a lot to ask. I'm like,
right,
you know,
yeah.
Jim, I'm flying out as we speak.
time.
We got this next challenge, okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're out
you do
here.
that.
We're out in South Jersey right now, so we're raring to go. We
All right.
want to be a part of this thing someday.
Jim, you know, you were touching upon 80s movies when talking about the Marvel movies a moment ago. You know, I want to ask you, first off, give me one of your favorite 80s movies, and what do you think about some of the 80s classics that are going to be coming out soon, such as the new Predator with Shane Black and Big Trouble in Little China?
I would say that probably my favorite movie ever, and it's for very sentimental reasons, is an 80s movie. It's Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. But I love Raiders and Airplane, and Back to the Future is a huge one for me. Ghostbusters, but there's a lot of like little weird ones that people might forget, like FX.
Yeah.
The special effects guy who like gets into a cape
with
that
Brian Dennehy,
so
right?
Weird, but I love it. And then Brian Dennehy and Brian Brown, the double Brian, man.
Yes.
Brian squared.
Jim, we might be.
I'm a huge Miami Vice TV show.
Yeah.
So that's, that was definitely a big part
Jim,
of it.
who is your favorite cameo on Miami Vice?
Oh man, God.
I mean, every cameo was like a Coke dealer.
Julia Roberts was in a few episodes, or at least in one episode. Bruce Willis. There was one episode, and I talked to my first time I ever interviewed Annette Bening. I was trying to break the ice with her, and I thought maybe she would get like defensive for me bringing up that she was on Miami Vice. And instead, her face lit up, and she's like, "I got my SAG card for doing that. That was like the best thing that having that job." And then like her episode, it was her, Viggo Mortensen, and Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, that's star-studded right there.
I can't stand Lou Diamond
Yeah,
Phillips.
and then there was another one that was like Wesley Snipes.
Yes, Wesley Snipes.
So that show had like everybody. Ving Rhames was in there. Everything.
Phil Collins was a Coke dealer also on one of them.
Phil the Shill. I remember that.
Yes.
Episode, yeah. He like won all his money on a game show or something.
Yeah. Burt Young was on there too.
Something like that.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot of good ones. But you just struck a note with me. I think we might be best friends now, since you just told me Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, which has got a 35th anniversary coming up, and it's going to be.
Well, yeah, they were just screening it last night in L.A. and I couldn't make it, but they did a double feature at our big revival house in New Bev of Star Trek II and Star Trek IV.
Yeah.
I don't know why people always skip over Star Trek 3. I like Star Trek 3.
3 is a solid one, yeah.
Come on, man. Kirk's got to steal the ship and blow it up.
Exactly.
All for his best friend, Brandon Sprint. Come on, that's moving. His kid dies. Like, what more do you want? That's drama, people.
I thought 3 was like the grittier of the, it didn't show anything really like Starfleet, and I thought that was one of the cool aspects of the.
Well, I think
series.
that's a byproduct of them not having the budget. Because it's like there's a reason why I think the movie looks so dim. Like there's not a lot of lights. They probably couldn't afford to build as big a set. So it's like, well, just don't light it as much.
And
we're just running on 1/4 impulse power.
Yeah, really. And I mean, the one thing about Star Trek IV, which I don't know if you know, but Eddie Murphy was actually supposed to be in that movie, which he actually declined to go off and do Beverly Hills Cop and stuff. Which I'm kind of curious to see how Eddie Murphy would have done in a Star Trek movie
like
with
a
whales.
Paramount wish list thing of like, hey, can we make this happen? Because he was Paramount's, golden star.
What you doing in outer space? What you doing in outer space? Hey, look at Billy over here. Look at Billy over here on the Enterprise.
Yeah, I totally could not see Eddie Murphy in that. Although, I mean, who knows? I think it would have been very distracting, but it would still be a movie that people would be like scratching their heads about today. Like, hey, remember that time Eddie Murphy showed up in that Star Trek movie? Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
What you doing the vocal neck pitch for, Billy? Come on, vocal neck pitch. Why you doing that?
So, what's your guys' favorite Star Trek?
Well, I'll tell you. I took Sean to see Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. There's out here we got what's called Movie Tavern, which is basically these movie theaters that serve food throughout the movie and booze and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool experience. And so I took Sean because they do retro movie night, and they were playing Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I'm like,
and I'm not a big Trekkie, so I've never seen
he's
it.
not. So I was like, dude, this is the Trek movie, to get started with. This is like all you really need to know. And I took him, we're like drinking like margaritas and stuff like that, feeling all good. And then, like right when like the Enterprise is like dead in the nebula and Spock's like, he just disappears and fixes the whole radiation problem. Sean, leaves the theater to go take some kind of massive dump that took like the entire Spock death scene of the movie. And I'm like, dude, where did you go? You just missed like the entire setup of the entire movie. And he's like, oh, I had to go take a dump. And so, that explains right there.
Timing is everything in life. So.
But I would have to say, Star Trek II is one of the obvious classics. But I also like First Contact if I'm gonna go.
See, that's what I would actually pick because I've seen that one.
First Contact's a solid movie. Yeah. I would have to
James
go there.
Cromwell in there.
Yeah, you got Jimmy Cromwell in there. That's if I'm gonna have to go with my Trek movies, that's gonna be my picks right there.
Yeah, I think the next gen stuff is, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. So
yeah,
First Contact is sort of like their Star Trek 4, where I think it was a success because it was probably the least, even though it's got the Borg in it, right? So
right.
like, even though it's got all that, they basically kind of made like an aliens kind of movie, instead. So I think there's a reason why that one resonated a little more broadly than the other ones. Also, I mean, it's a better movie than the later next gen ones. But
yeah, and you know what? I got into a conversation with a former guest before, and I
who Bill who
I believe it was Robert Meyer Burnett from
okay.
Where's he from again?
Collider.
From Collider, right? And we were talking, and we were saying that with now with movies and crossing over and stuff like that, Star Trek really would have been the great crossover franchise to make movies with at the time, because you had Next Gen, you had DS9, and you had Voyager all going on simultaneously. I mean, like, obviously Next Gen wrapped up and overlapped with DS9, and then you had to overlap with that in Voyager. But to get all that in the one room would have really made for some good movies down the road, because obviously Trek fizzled out. With movies like Insurrection and Nemesis, and of course, by those times DS9 was wrapping up, Voyager was, already halfway through its run, and I think they missed an opportunity there with being able to elevate that franchise a little bit and make at least a little bit longer lasting impression.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. They at that point in time they had a few things kind of working against them in terms of, the cast was, getting older, and I know that Prince Spiner's big thing was, I'm an android. I'm not supposed to age, and there's only so much makeup you can put on me at a certain point.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think it'd be it would have been interesting to see what sort of shared universe, if you will. But maybe Star Trek Discovery will kind of reinvigorate Trek for people who aren't into it. I hope so. But I liked two of the three JJ Star Trek movies. I thought Beyond was a lot of fun. I wish it had done better. There are a lot of movies, including like right now, like War. Oh, another one I forgot that I really liked this year, War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Really great movie. Nobody's really going to see it.
It was
not
good. I enjoyed it
nearly as well. Yeah. So
not a lot of war going on though.
Well, I mean, for some people, it was already too much for. They like some of the feedback I heard from people is, why do I want to watch a movie called War right now? And I'm like, well, you're going to see other things that look depressing. So,
Yeah.
what's stopping you?
Right.
They're like, well, I don't want to see a movie that's just about a monkey. It's like, but you went to see Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
So like, I don't get it. I don't get where you people come from. It's like, yeah, I don't want to see a movie about war, but Dunkirk.
Right. Before we let you go, we know you have a busy day going on. I just wanted to ask you one more question. It's a hypothetical, well, not even hypothetical, but if you could only go see one more film the rest of this year, what would it be?
Oof, boy.
You can only do one.
Yeah, let me think of what the hell else is coming out this year.
We got Thor coming out in November.
I can't wait for. Yeah, I mean, let me see. Thor Ragnarok. There's Justice League. There's Last Jedi. I guess I would say Last Jedi, just because I can't wait to see Ragnarok, but I feel like they've shown us so much already that I have a pretty good sense of the movie. So I guess I'll say The Last Jedi, just because I don't quite know what to expect of that one yet. I mean, I think it's going to be, great fun, I hope, but I think they've got a lot to balance, and the middle movie is usually the most challenging. It's probably the one it's either going to be the most powerful one, or it's the one that'll be the most flawed.
Right.
So I'm curious to see, if it's going to be just sort of an Empire retread, or what sort of new ground they might lay for the franchise.
Yeah, I'm hoping they kind of break the mold. Episode 7 was very reminiscent of 4, so hopefully they take some notes from Empire, but try to distance itself from it as well. We are going to let you go. We wanted to thank you so much for calling on, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Where can everybody find you online?
Find me on Twitter at Jim Vejvoda, JimVejvoda. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks,
Anytime,
Jim.
and we'll look to talk to you soon.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
All right, Jim Vejvoda from IGN, everybody.
On!
Very nice guy. Very cool guy. And Rob, if you're listening at home, he definitely was not an asshole.
Listen, I think there's a lot of great things to come out of that interview. One of the best things is, and I know he didn't mention it, but Weekend at Bernie's is getting remade. It's happening. It's in the works. Okay, The Rock will be playing Bernie. Everybody loves
Wait,
The
we were
Rock.
supposed to save that for our fake news episode.
Fuck. It's fake news. It's fake news. Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Bernie Lomax. It's happening.
We're kind of kicking around the idea of doing
Weekend at Bernie's is not being remade.
It's being remade.
Well,
we're remaking
we were going to
it.
do a part 3.
Yeah, we were going to do part
We've had
3.
it in the works for years
Yeah.
now.
Oh, like Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they remade Lethal Weapon. You guys are going to do something like that?
Riggs.
Riggs.
No, but we're kicking around the idea of doing a complete fake news episode of the show, just like totally making up random bullshit.
I think Lethal Dose does that on
Do
the
they? Yeah.
wrestling show, where they come out and they do like all this bizarre news, and then we've gotten messages from people who are like, "That really happened?" We're like, no, it's their fake news segment.
Well, how about this?
Will
If-
Smith has herpes today, and
people that are listening at home right now, get in the chat on Facebook Live. Let us know if you would want us to do a complete fake news episode of the show at some point.
And send what they think it should be called. You got to give a name to that segment.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
But again, we wanted to thank Jim Vejvoda from calling in. Great interview. We got a lot of cool insights into some of the
listen,
some
Jim,
of the things he's got going on.
Jim Vejvoda. Am I saying it right? Jim
Vejvoda.
Vagina? What?
Jim Vejvoda. Listen, he's a great executive producer over at IGN. I've met him personally. We were at Burbank at La Casa Mia, and it was honestly it was a great time. We had
Casa Mia.
because
Is that place open anymore?
Hang
I
out.
don't think so. Not anymore. Not today, at least. But let me just say, no sweeter, gentler, kinder soul in the universe than him. More than the mooch.
More than Cosby?
More than Cosby. Ghost Dad coming out next year. Pat wants to see a remake of Ghost Dad, by the way.
I thought he was in it.
Yeah, he is in it.
He's the kid.
He's the kid, yeah.
I don't know how that works.
And Pat is actually overseas right now in Kazakhstan filming.
I think he
Third
saw
Reich Wife.
He saw Nick Cage over there.
He's filming Third Reich Wife.
Okay, yeah, he was in Germany. He's moved over to Kazakhstan.
Mike, did you hear about that? Remember that last time we mentioned it briefly? Third Reich Wife. It's a story about a woman who goes back in time to date Hitler and try and change
Yeah, because I said something about when you want to go back in
Right.
history to kill baby Hitler
Yeah.
instead of trying. And then I said something about
from what
how
I-
women always try to change guys and make them better. Yeah,
Right. So from what I hear, Charlize Theron is going to be playing Ava Braun.
Can we go back in history and make this idea not happen?
Which idea? Third Reich Wife.
this idea, yeah.
Of third. What do you mean this idea? It's already happening.
Yeah,
it's
but-
in production.
At some point, it was an idea.
It wasn't.
So are
idea.
you.
Yeah.
I wasn't an idea. It's called my dad came home drunk and said, I'm not going to say her name now.
Deb.
But woman, yeah.
Yes, it Deb.
It felt weird to say her name during this whole scenario.
Barb.
Yeah.
Her name's Barb.
Barb, come home drunk, and then, I was born. So I wasn't an idea. I was, what the hell did you do to me?
Wow.
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 All right, well, we are going to get into this week's TV Buzz segment where we're going to highlight the biggest news stories from the world of the televisions. We have a bunch of superhero news to start off with. What did I miss?
Shot him right in the eye
You shot him with what?
with a rubber band.
Hopefully you saw that on camera because I missed it.
Right in the eye.
Oh, my.
I sat here thinking he wouldn't get me.
Getting back to it, Lost actor Michael Emerson has joined the cast of Arrow for season 6 in a currently unknown role. Also announced to join the cast is Glow actress Sidel Noel as FBI agent Samantha
Samantha.
Yeah, it's not Samantha.
Salamander?
Samando Watson, tasked with investigating
Samando.
Some man.
tasked with investigating Oliver Queen's connection to the Green Arrow. Also, we have Superman villains Doomsday and Brainiac are set to appear on Sci-Fi's Krypton. The series is set decades before the destruction of Superman's homeworld and will premiere sometime in 2018. Bill, read the next couple.
Hold on, I gotta switch tabs here.
Well, switch it already.
All right.
Come on, we buzzed it up already.
Man.
Yeah, good luck pronouncing her name.
All right, hold on.
Fix those tabs.
Actress Tracy Ifishur. Is that how would you?
I don't know.
I
feature?
Ifishur. Ifishur.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Ifishur.
Sure.
I think it's a soft C. Has been cast as the villainous. This is even harder. Kuasa
Kuasa.
for season 3 of Legends of
I think
Tomorrow.
that's Mufasa's cousin.
Durka. Yeah.
Oh, durka.
Nobody cares about that. Move on to the next one. Garbage trash topic.
The Flash's Tom Felton, who is he's also the
He
Harry
felting
Potter.
me up.
He will not. Oh, I got it.
He touched my dick.
Tom Felton will not be returning to the series as a regular cast member, but could still reprise his role of Julian down the line. And Bill, I got another hard name to pronounce.
Nah, I
here.
got this
You
one.
got it?
I got
All
it.
right, go for it.
Moonlight's star Mahershala Ali has
Ooh,
been
good
confirmed to star as the series lead in the upcoming 3rd season of HBO's True Detective. The Oscar-winning Ali has appeared on House of Cards, Luke Cage, and in the Oscar-nominated Hidden Figures.
Yeah, I really liked him on Luke
Figures.
Cage.
I said
Yeah, Hidden
figures.
Figures, that's
Yeah.
right. He was really good in
Who
Luke
would've
Cage.
thought it? Figures.
As far as True Detective, though, I know everybody's all getting excited about it. Did you ever watch any of the first 2 seasons?
True Detective?
Yeah.
No. Isn't that with McConaughey?
Well, the first one is, and then the second one had
All right. I'm looking for
it
a
was in the
dead
second
guy.
one. The dude, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Kevin Spacey?
No, he's in House of Cards.
Ally McBeal?
No,
Not Ally
Um,
McBeal. Okay.
Vince Vaughn. He was in. Season
Vince
2.
Vaughn.
Yeah, I've never watched them, but I've heard good things about season 1. I heard season 2 wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
And they weren't actually going to even do a season 3, but it looks like they are moving forward on that. Bill, we do have another big, huge, incredible story.
It's
here.
huge. It's honestly so huge. It needs extra large pads.
Yeah, read
This
this one.
news is that the 9th season of Curb Your Enthusiasm will consist of 10 episodes, and in addition to the main cast, traditional guest stars such as Ted Danson, Richard Lewis, Bob Einstein will be back, and HBO has said last Wednesday that the season will also feature new guest stars like Bryan Cranston, Nick Offerman, Elizabeth Banks, Ed Begley Jr., Carrie Brownstein, Warren Graham, Nassim Pedrad, and Elizabeth Perkins.
Brownstein.
I gotta say, Sean, that's coup de la. That's coup de la, Larry.
That's very great news. It needs to be October already because we're really chomping at the bit here for Curb to get back into our
I'm gonna
lives.
have to get HBO again.
Oh, you don't even have it?
Nah,
I think we still have it, but I think my wife wanted to cancel it. Sorry,
her
man.
no.
We're gonna have to hold on to that one for a little while.
Can we, Mike? Can we call his wife and try and persuade her not to cancel HBO?
No.
Can we dial out? Can we?
Can we?
Can we?
We could.
Could we?
I mean, I could
Good.
just tell her no when I get home.
No.
Making phone calls now?
You want to make a phone call?
Is this like old school, like radio, like crank call?
It's not a crank call if it's legit business. Okay.
Well, you know, speaking of shows that involve calls,
Ooh.
MTV is rebooting Total Request Live on October 2nd, touting a new studio in Times Square, just like the original show, but with bigger audiences, expansive sets, and simultaneous productions, including new digital extensions of TRL. YouTube star Liza Koshy has been tapped to host. Bill, are you getting ready to dial in and vote for your favorite video?
No.
No? You're not ready for this?
I'm actually excited. Okay, this is going to sound really bad, but I'm actually excited for this.
Why?
Because TRL, even though it was mainstream, even though it was kind of stupid videos, it was the only time in that era and right now where you saw music videos anymore on MTV. On TRL, that's when you knew you were going to see music videos.
I think it went off the air for good in 2008, I think.
Yeah, I was surprised they took it off the air because of the sheer fact that they could still legitimately be like, we play music videos still.
Right.
And also, the one thing that really got me was that when Tom Green came out with the Bum Bum song, he actually rallied all of his fans to vote him. And he... I think
he
it was
got to number one, didn't he?
Yeah, for 3 or 4 weeks. And then MTV had to call him up to ask him to retire the video from being able to be voted on because they thought that it wasn't a real video. Even though his fans were voting on it over and over again. I was a huge fan of Tom Green.
Oh, I love Tom Green.
And like just the sheer fact that that happened was really cool. And in the heyday when Eminem would go on and do stupid shit, and like now you find out that during those days he was high as a kite, drunk as hell, and you look back on it like I can see that now. Like you see it in his eyes. I don't know, like during the era of TRL, I hated it. It was the aftermath.
Give
and I
me
was like, okay, that was really cool.
Give me like 3 music videos you remember battling on TRL.
Again, I hated it during its heyday. It was afterwards.
I mean, it was always
you see what I'm saying?
Spears, Christina Aguilera.
You're right. They
NSYNC.
battle. Backstreet.
But then you'd have
But it
like
was-
rock bands, and you'd have Korn in there.
Got
Limp
the Wife.
Bizkit.
You would.
Offspring.
Like Falling Away for me was a big one
it
on
definitely-
Offspring.
Definitely was the battle royale for boy bands.
Marilyn
Right.
Manson Dope Show. That was like a huge one.
But again, it's
Juice. That was a good one.
I don't think they're gonna play my kind of music on
No,
there.
God, no.
But only because it brings back. Tech Nine's not going to end up on. He could actually. He was in the Suicide Squad movie, so he could end up on TRL.
Well, that movie sucks.
Wow.
We've talked about this. You know,
I thought it was awesome
No.
because I was introduced to that world. I guess if I knew that world beforehand. But anyway, so I wasn't a big fan of it during it, but for what it stands for actually giving a venue on still live television, and it was live at the time when it would broadcast.
Right.
I think it's good for the music industry. I think it's good to for the kids today to be involved in something TRL.
Yeah, it can put the M back in MTV.
Exactly.
I guess.
in a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of it being about all this reality stuff and all this other stuff and you
Right.
know
Dude, fuck all this music video bullshit. Give me the Teen Wolf and the OC.
yeah.
Give me that.
Give me
MTV.
Flavor of Love where a girl shits on the floor. Give me that.
That's VH1.
Give me Teen
was
Mom.
that was that VH1?
Yeah, it was VH1.
They're the same thing.
Same.
They're the same. They both toted music videos and neither one of them do it anymore.
Bill, I have a story that you're really going to like. We actually talked about
Well,
it a
read it.
little bit with Jim Vejvoda a little bit ago. But NBC is reportedly rebooting Miami Vice with Vin Diesel attached as an executive producer. Bill, what do you think about a Miami Vice TV reboot?
I just hope it doesn't suck. Because, you know, like Jim said, I kind of want to go home right now and watch, you know, Miami Vice and see Wesley Snipes as a coke dealer, and you know, I mean the old school show was great, so there's a lot to live up to. What do you think?
I mean, I never really watched Miami Vice, so I'm not the person to ask. I mean, you're Mr. 80s. I'm not. I'm Mr. 90s.
I think Bill just quit the show.
That's fine. I can get some other dope in here.
Oh!
Gonna go jack off to Topanga later.
Topanga.
I did that earlier. Later. I'll do it. Did that earlier.
We have one more story here in our TV Buzz segment. I'm going to play a clip first because it's going to kind of cue you into what we're actually going to be talking about.
Tweak the leg.
Ooh.
You have a problem with that? No, Sensei. No mercy.
That's right. Ralph Macchio and William Zabka are reuniting for a new YouTube Red series that will continue the Karate Kid story. The new series, Cobra Kai, is a 10-episode, half-hour comedy series set 30 years after the events of the 1984 All-Valley Karate Tournament and revolves around a down-and-out Johnny who, seeking redemption, reopens the infamous Cobra Kai dojo. It reignites his rivalry with now successful Daniel, who has been struggling to maintain balance in his life without the guidance of his mentor, Mr. Miyagi. The half-hour comedy follows the duo addressing demons from their past and present frustrations through karate. Bill, what do you think about a Cobra Kai Karate Kid half-hour digital series?
I don't know what to think about this. Like, it's a comedy series?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to take any of this seriously?
I mean, it's on YouTube Red, so it's not like it's gonna be on
Like Billy
television. It's not
Zabka
an
better
Amazon
be
thing.
like a 1984 style bully. like you know, obviously bullying now in America is
Yeah, you can't do that.
you
anymore.
can't. Yeah, you just can't do it because you know kids go ahead and kill themselves. Unfortunately, but I mean, there's life lessons to be learned still from characters who played bullies in old movies such as this. So, I mean, is he going to be a personification of that? And Daniel addressing issues that he has in his life. Oh, wow. Grow up. Who doesn't have some fucking life problems? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, watch one episode, see what it's all about.
Because it's a comedy, I'm wondering like how stupid it's actually gonna be. Like,
I'm curious to be like how serious it's going to be in the same sense.
Like, could it just be like a caricature of these characters, just like with their personalities, but
Yeah,
it's
I am
not really
bad.
them? And like how much actual karate is gonna be involved? Because that could be pretty cool.
Sweep the leg.
That's right. Sweep that leg. That is all for our TV Buzz segment, as we are now going to be flipping our script to change the focus to film, news, and reviews. Bill, go ahead and read our first story.
I don't know about this name. Michelle
P. Pfeffer?
Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer has joined the cast of Ant-Man and the Wasp as Janet Van Dyne. Also announced to join the cast are Lawrence Fishburne as Dr. Bill Foster, Randall Park as Jimmy Woo, and Walton Goggins as the film's villain.
Oh, interesting here. We did get a glimpse of the Wasp costume at the end of the first Ant-Man. We know we got reference to Janet Van Dyne in that first movie as well. So Michelle Pfeiffer is going to be playing that character. Now, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be seeing her, in that, that micro universe that Ant-Man got trapped in for a little bit, or whether we're going to see her in flashbacks, or how we're going to see.
Oh,
her.
help! I'm trapped in a microverse. Oh, it's so tiny in here.
But it's going to be cool to see her, joining the ranks of the MCU. They've the side characters that they've brought in, really acclaimed actors in smaller roles. It's it gives more credence to the comic movie genre as a whole. So this is an overall good move. What do you think about that, Bill? Is that a good move, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, I liked Michelle Pfeiffer in Gangster's Paradise.
Oh yeah,
Remember that movie?
Coolio did the song,
Coolio,
right? Coolio. I liked his hair.
Hour after hour.
I like the Weird Al version better. Though.
Yeah. Churning lots of butter.
That's right. Raise a barn on Monday, soon I'll raise another. Moving along, the upcoming Captain Marvel film starring Brie Larson will take place in the 90s and will feature a young Nick Fury pre-eye patch. Also revealed is the inclusion of the alien race, the Skrulls. Infinity War co-director Joe Russo did confirm that she will not be appearing in Infinity
How's
War.
the taste, motherfucker?
So this is going to be the first movie to go have their, the entirety of the film. Nice shot. Pre-Iron Man. We've gotten glimpses of other movies taking place before that. We know Guardians 2 and both Guardians, went back in time a little bit. Civil War, we had Winter Soldier back in the 90s for a bit, but the entirety of this movie will take place back in the 90s. So I'm interested to see why Carol Danvers is not around at any point in the MCU to at this point what happens to her. Does she get frozen like Cap does? Does she go off to a different planet somewhere? Where's she been this whole time? We're not going to see her in Infinity War, but we could see her in Avengers 4. So it'll be really cool to see how they introduce her along with the rest of the Avengers cast. Anything else on this, Bill?
No, I'm good.
No, you're just bugging out over here, trying not to get shot by rubber bands. You children need to calm down in here. I'm going to turn dad mode on. Bill, read our next one.
No.
Yes, do it.
Okay. The next Cloverfield film has been pushed back from its October 27th, 2017 release date more than 3 months to February 24th, 2018. The date shift marks the second shift. How many shifts are there for this fucking film? Originally titled The God Particle.
Oh my God.
Shifting everywhere.
So they're going from the first shift to the second shift. Now it's time for the third shift to come aboard. Okay, let's put this movie together into production here. Let's move it along. Let's push it back to February.
Yeah, figure it out. February is the movie dumping ground. So
Brewery.
maybe it's going to be good. Maybe it's not. We'll see. The
probably
second one was all right. I enjoyed it. Despite no announced cast or director, and I want to queue up this thing for a minute here. The next installation, the James Bond franchise, does have a November 8th, 2019 release date. It's still unclear whether Daniel Craig will reprise the role of 007 at this time. Rumors are floating around that he will indeed be back, but we're not confirmed on that. We don't want to speculate too much. But do you think he will indeed be back?
It's Bond.
Bill?
Yes, he will
Yes.
be back.
Will be his last time.
It's going to be certainly one of the last. But not the first, because the first is in the past, like the last.
Interesting.
Sean Connery.
Very interesting.
Welcome to The Rock. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, who's your favorite Bond? 1, 2, 3,
Pierce
go.
Brosnan.
Roger Moore.
I mean, I've never really seen any of the other ones, so
No.
I don't really care. I like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
We've talked about GoldenEye on the show.
Yeah.
Great game.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones that he was in, what was it, like Tomorrow Never Dies, and
The world is
The World Is
not
That's
enough.
right. Did he do 3 or 4?
I think 4.
Was it 4? Was there one more?
I think there's one more.
Hmm.
Who
Well,
cares?
I liked him in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Toodaloo!
It's a dry run by fruiting. Bill, read our next one.
You gotta cue it up. I'm getting into the music. The Wonder Woman sequel has been given an official release date of December 13th, 2019.
Yeah, we've been waiting to hear the date. We knew this was definitely a given. When it was going to happen was just the question. So it's interesting to see that they're moving it to a December release, because now it's going to be competing with whatever Star Wars movie is going to be coming out that year, most likely, as their Star Wars puts out their stuff typically in Decembers now.
Right.
So I think that shows a lot of confidence, from all the money they made off of this first one this year so far. It's the highest grossing movie of the year. This shows a lot of confidence that they don't have to just make this a summer blockbuster, that they can put it around Christmas to compete with the Star Wars, and they're going to be fully confident in that. So we will have to wait 2 more years to see just how that one goes. Bill, this next story that I want to read is really exciting. It's really interesting. The upcoming Bumblebee Transformers spinoff has been given an official release date of December 21st, 2018, squaring off against DC's Aquaman. But the coup d'etat. Oh no, Mike, you took away my soundboard. I need that.
It really does figure. I waited until you were doing a story. I was like,
no, I need it. Oh, I need it.
And then
believe me, I need it because there's a cast member.
Coup d'etat.
There's a cast member announced.
What cast member is that?
It's a certain WWE.
Wait,
superstar.
Stone Cold?
It is not Stone
The
Cold.
Rock.
It's not The Rock. I'll give you
Hulk
one more
Hogan?
guess. It is not the Hulk Hogan. It's
Bill Backlund?
And his name is John Cena.
Oh.
Boots to asses this weekend.
We're not kidding you right now.
Are you kidding me right now? I can't even handle this. I cannot handle this.
That's right. John Cena has joined the Bumblebee cast. What do you think about John Cena battling Transformers, Bill?
I messed up. It's Bob Backlund.
It is not Bob Backlund.
It's not Bob.
I said Bill Backlund.
Well, nobody was listening.
Randy Backlund.
What do you,
I could care less about this move. I'm like so over this whole Transformers thing at this point that.
Oh God! Don't care. Don't care.
Really don't. So let's just move on. And if you are a Transformers fan still at this point, post in the chat room. Let me hear your thoughts because I'll just probably tell you suck. But American Gods actor Ian McShane has joined the cast of the Hellboy reboot, which recently dropped the Rise of the Blood Queen subtitle. Former Hellboy actor Ron Perlman.
Who?
Fucking Ron Perlman. fucking hate Ron Perlman. Responded to a fan question about a possible cameo in the film with the response of, "When hell freezes over, you fucking piece of shit."
Well, I didn't say that.
Well,
you just said when hell freezes over.
well, yeah, but I mean, I got some extra stuff here.
Continuation. there.
Jim Vejvoda gave it to me. Yeah, inside scoop.
So, Bill, your favorite guy, Ron Perlman, talking shit.
Right.
New Hellboy. I know you're excited for it.
I'm so excited for it.
But Ian McShane's he's a really good actor.
He is. Yeah.
He's got good stuff. And our final movie buzz, flipping the script story. Mr. Bean himself, Rowan Atkinson, is returning as Goofy Spy Johnny English in a third installation of the franchise that has already begun filming. The film is slated for an October 12th, 2018 UK release date with no word on an American release date as of yet.
I didn't even know they made a second one.
Yeah, there's two. But apparently they've already begun production on this one, unbeknownst to everybody, and it kind of just popped up the other day, and nobody really even knew that was happening. I think the second one, domestically, it only made like $8 million. It made more money overseas, but that's not the kind of return you want to get into a movie that you're putting out to produce a sequel for. And I don't even remember when that last one came out. It's got to have been at least 10 years. So
yeah,
it's a little bit of a head scratcher there. But we'll I love Rowan Atkinson. He's so hilarious. Like the old Mr. Bean TV show. Just awesome. Love
okay. All right.
Or even the Mr. Bean movie where like he's walking around and one dude gives him the finger and he doesn't like quite understand what it means, so he's kind of just like flipping his hand around. It's like I grew up on Mr. Bean, so I love him. Last show we started a new segment here, Bill. It's our Strange Stories segment. That's where we kind of pull out some of the Hollywood bizarre happenings that are going on that we want to talk about. So I have a bunch of them here, and a couple of them involve some lewd acts.
So listen, if you're of a prepubescent mind, you might want to tune out. Otherwise, if you're an adult, tune in.
All right. Well, the search is on for a man allegedly caught masturbating during a screening of the Emoji Movie in Howell, New Jersey. The white, heavyset male in his 20s or 30s, Michael Frangolino, was seen with his hands down his unzipped pants by a woman and her children. So, Mike, why are you jerking off during the Emoji Movie?
Well, with theaters nowadays, it's just so comfy in those seats, and you just feel like you're at home. And it's just next thing you know,
Michael, I'm upset with you. You jerking off in the movie theaters.
Now, do you think this
my
guy
God.
personally knows Pee Wee Herman? Were they hanging out together?
I heard that he does know Pee Wee Herman and the Swiss cheese pervert as well.
Oh, the Swiss cheese pervert.
Swiss cheese.
We were just reminiscing about him again last night.
Reminiscing indeed, yes.
He was
Looking at his body of work.
He was a hero for the everyman. So I was totally fine with what he was doing around
I
Philadelphia.
totally want to see him blow his curds.
Oh, my. We do have another a lewd story here. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live this week, actor Robert Pattinson revealed that he refused to shoot a sex scene with a dog for his upcoming movie, Good Time. I have a clip of the interview here that I'm going to play for you.
We'll play it.
Mike, can you get our aux cord volume going on?
you're ready. I mean,
We're ready?
You didn't
We're
hear
good.
the
It's real. Like it's
Here we
kind of
go.
why it's so exciting. Gonna count.
Wow, it's like wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, tell us what happened with the dog now. So there's this big dog in the movie.
There's a big dog, and there was actually, sadly, a different dog which was cast, who is this big dog's son, but it died like just before. Well,
Oh.
But anyway, but it's
So never got his big break. Never got a chance to see himself.
yeah. So we
Never got a chance to pee on a red carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mufasa, who is a kind of one-eyed, who was the father and this huge, huge dog, there was initially this scene. I don't even think I should say this, but it's like my character Corny has this affinity with dogs, and he thinks he thinks he is a dog in a previous life, and he thinks he has control over animals and stuff. And there's this one scene which we shot, which was basically there's a drug dealer who busts in to the room, and I was sleeping with the dog and basically giving the dog a and we and we were asking
that was what you the actor Robert Pattinson were doing, or that's what the character was doing?
It was a character thing, but
I see.
But also I asked the trainer, like, because we were like, the director was like, just do it for real, man, don't be a and the dog's owner was like, well, he's a breeder. I mean, you can. I mean, it's like you just got to massage the inside of his thighs. I was literally like,
Wow.
you just massage the, you just massage the inside of his thighs. But then I didn't agree to do the real one, so we made a fake red
You
rocket.
made a fake dog penis?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Hollywood is a great place, folks. It really is. Like, if you get a chance to send your kids to film school.
But it was fun. It'll be on the DVD. Actually.
Yeah, I hope. Well, well, it's very good to see you. Congratulations.
Oh,
So we got
Jesus.
Robert Pattinson's
Wow.
jerking off fake dog penises for his
That's
new movie.
Hollywood.
That's great stuff. Bill, can you read our next story here?
Well, yeah, I could. Yeah.
Well, do it
Actor James Cromwell was arrested on Monday, July 24th for trespassing at SeaWorld. Cromwell, get this, led a PETA protest outside of an organ encounter exhibit wearing a SeaWorld Sucks t-shirt. Cromwell recently served 7 days in jail following an arrest for an environmental sit-in in 2015. What is this guy up to?
Yeah, go down to SeaWorld, take my pants off, having fun. Game of Thrones actor Ben Hawkey, who plays the character of Hot Pie, a baker, has begun selling direwolf loaves in his real-life bakery, which is called You Know Nothing John Doe Bakery. Bill?
During a BuzzFeed Q&A session, Zach Braff was asked what happened to Rowdy, the stuffed dog from Scrubs. Braff replied with the following: I tried to take him home, shared Braff. The network wouldn't let me have him, and so they put him in a warehouse. I pictured him in, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they put the art in the back of the warehouse with all those precious relics. Rowdy is in the back of some Disney storage space like that. He's in the background of one of those shoots of Wish I Was Here, he revealed. The studio literally thought that I was going to steal the dead taxidermy animal, and they sent a security guard with the dog. who was his bodyguard for a day, because they were right. I would have stolen his ass.
During the Television Critics Association press tour, actor Rob Lowe was asked if he had actually seen a ghost, to which Lowe replied, "There's a device they use that the theory is it can translate, that the spirits can talk through this device, for a lack of a better term," Lowe said. "Don't ask me how, don't ask me the science, I don't know. John just thinks it's randomly programmed to say words at any given time, which it could be, but how does it say the word? It said the dead woman's name and where she was murdered. Judge for yourself. I don't want to seem like a nut. I don't want to end my career here." Lowe previously recalled his run-in with Bigfoot during promo work for his upcoming reality series, The Lowe Files. Bill?
Alien actor Yaphet Kotto recently revealed that he was visited and abducted by aliens multiple times over the past 50 years. A snippet of the interview reads, "It started when I was about 9 or 10 years old. I remember being told I couldn't go outside, so I was looking out at the streets of Bronx, New York, watching the kids play stickball in a kneeling position. When I turned around, a figure was behind me. It was at least 5 or 6 feet tall, with an elongated head. It appeared to have then jumped to the back of me and disappeared. From that moment on, it was one experience after another, which culminated into my sightings in the Philippines." The full interview can be found on our Facebook page about this sexual encounter with aliens.
And finally, following his trip to the Eurasia International Film Festival in Astana, Nicolas Cage is catching the ire of the Human Rights Foundation. The HRF president Thor Halvorsen is accusing the actor of boosting a dictatorship's image after he posed with Kazakhstan First Lady Sara Nazarbayeva. The Kazakh president ordered the 2011 massacre of dozens of peaceful protesters and a government crackdown on independent news outlets, including the arrests of editors and reporters on overbroad and vague charges.
You know, national treasure, there's a lot of national treasures in Kazakhstan. That's why I was there. You know, like the Lyre of Kazakhstan. You know, also the lost relic of Mohenjo-Daro, what was found there. You know, there's a lot of kudewa there. Kudewa.
Mike, which one of these strange stories stuck out to you the most?
The one with the elongated head, right? With the alien fucking the dude, right?
Putting you on the spot now.
No. No, I know. I was listening the whole time. But the one that really made my ears perk up, actually, I've got a story that I wanted to share with you guys, a real one.
Strange? Is it a strange
that is close to my heart. But anyway, out of all those, the one that made me perk up the most, obviously, is the dog one.
Literally.
Because I truthfully, as a young lad,
jerked off dogs before.
In my early 20s, I used to know this guy, and I guess it doesn't matter if I say his name.
Red Rocket.
His name was Chad. And we were all partying, drinking, early 20s.
He sounds like a dog.
All of a sudden, next thing we know, Chad's in the corner, and he's going laughing, he's giggling. "What are you doing, Chad?" He goes, "Watch this," and he starts tugging a dog, our friend's dog, the house we were at, to completion.
Oh my god!
And
do you have his number by any chance?
Oh my god!
I don't.
Could we call him and ask him about this?
Ask him about this.
Like,
was
Chad,
that a highlight of your life?
Chad, I heard you were a person in your former life who liked to jerk dogs off. What kind of sick son of a bitch are you?
But no, that one stood out more than anything.
All right, so what's the story you got?
Yeah, what do you got for us?
Do you guys know what today is? What today has been declared, I should say.
Well, I know this
National
is
Cinescape Podcast Day.
Wow. No, today.
Yeah.
By Mayor Pat Mena. Has officially declared today Kevin Smith Day.
Ooh, okay.
Up in Red Bank, New Jersey today. There was a gathering. There was a world record breaking gathering, which involved, I think it was over 400 Jay and Silent Bob lookalikes that gathered in North Jersey today. Jason Mewes and and Kevin Smith were there to celebrate Kevin Smith Day. They broke a world record, and Kevin Smith was given the key to the city.
Wow.
Did you guys just try to mute my microphone?
No, I took the aux cord out of my computer.
Wow. I thought that's pretty good movie news. That,
well, maybe
because we're locally,
maybe
we
should have gotten an invite to that, so we could have.
Dude,
been there.
Actually, the guys from Wrestle Rock over on Wildfire,
Wrestle
Rock, were there with their girlfriends, dressed up, and there's a picture of Rich Connor hugging Kevin Smith, and it's kind of tear-jerking. Next time we need to be on top of that. We could have been up there.
Yeah, we
and
could have broadcast.
you could have been Kevin Smith, Sean, and Bill, you could have been Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys dropped the ball on that one.
Thanks for the heads up.
Kevin Smith Day.
Mike, are you going to be at Monster Mania next week?
Monster Mania, I'm definitely going to be at it.
Yeah. What days?
On Saturday. Saturday's the day to go up there. I know a lot of the inner workings of that place. So I know some behind-the-scenes people that might be able to get us some extra good interviews. I was looking at the lineup. I can't remember it for the life of me right now, but they've got a lot of great people. I know Bill Mosley, and what's the other guy's name? Captain Spaulding from the House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects movies.
There's a lot of great.
They're going to be great.
Spaulding, get your filth about.
And
great people going to be there.
And a Batman's going to be there.
Which Batman?
Val Kilmer is going to be there.
That's honestly, if there was any news that's fake news, it would have to be that Val Kilmer would be there.
You don't want to interview Val Kilmer?
Listen, I would love to talk to the Iceman himself.
He'll do it for a donut.
He would do it for a donut. He looks like he's had quite too many donuts. That's why I'd fired the mooch. Okay.
Come on, don't bullshit.
No bullshit. There's a lot of great people going to be there. Mike, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up there.
It's okay. I'll get them for my show, Beyond the Grind.
Oh, yeah. Beyond the fucking grind.
The show that I named, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of remember that differently. I remember me thinking that name up.
I secretly recorded that conversation.
What day and time is your show again?
Beyond the Grind is every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
From 5 to 6.
Bold move.
Yeah, it used to be a... we liked Cinescape being our lead-in, but Cinescape's been doing Saturdays.
Well, I
I
thought you were going to piggyback to Saturdays with us. I thought we agreed that there's no energy on Sundays because we're always fucking bombed and hungover.
Well, actually, we chose Sundays so that because on our show it's really just talking about anything and everything, strange stories,
fucking pussies and buttholes.
Exactly. Yeah. so we could be drunk. So we decided to do Sundays so we wouldn't be too drunk to do the show. Yeah,
that's interesting.
We tried to be adults and responsible.
Well, why don't you just be an adult and be responsible on a fucking Saturday?
I'm a little bit bombed right now, and it's during Cinescape.
Well, dude, get a grip on your life, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Spiraling out of control.
Don't make us to be the bad guys. Like, this is the Cinescape show. All they're doing is get drunk and they lose inhibitions. No, that's not how it is.
Stop it.
No, I won't stop it. Because Mike's over here blaming us. Oh, that's why we had to move the show to Sunday. Because, we got too fucked up on Saturday. And we don't act like adults. And we can't, straight out our priorities. And I got my mom yelling at me via fucking text message. And I'm shooting rubber bands at Bill. You know what? So, you know what? Yeah, Fishman, you can have your comeback tour and, work Saturdays. Yeah. But you know what? I'm taking all production rights away from you. And you know what? I'm going to go to Sundays with DJs. And we can talk about, fucking taxes and buttholes and stuff. And you know what? Yeah.
Shut the
He's been holding on to that for a while, hasn't he?
Oh,
Feel
man.
better now?
A little therapeutic session here.
All right.
So hopefully, Bill, you can get to Monster Mania and get some interviews because that'd be good for us. I will not.
Well, I got a draft. I got a fantasy football draft on Saturday night. I mean, I could go Friday, maybe Sunday.
A fantasy football draft over going and getting great content, interviewing celebrities. Wow. Priorities. Wow.
But I will not be able to go because I will be in Mexico.
Mexico. Doing blow.
Yeah, I'm going on my honeymoon, not this coming week, but the following. So
you're gonna have a lot of sex.
That's what the plan is.
Spread that seed in Mexico.
That's right.
The plan a baby too.
No, we can't do that there. The doctor said so because the Zika virus.
Yeah, but
so we have to wait.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? No. Okay.
No. Some viruses make you superhuman.
That doesn't apply to babies, I guess.
So there will not be a show in 2 weeks' time from today. But we are getting ready for our first birthday show upcoming in the first weekend of September, Bill. September 3rd is actually our first birthday. We are in the process of booking.
That's Labor Day weekend, too.
Well,
dude, we can get fucking
we can get hammered up.
Board shorts and boogie boards in here, man. Let's do it.
We're finalizing
Let's put sand down in here and put an umbrella. Let's get some pina coladas, dude. Let's fucking
right.
set this thing up.
Right,
Right.
we're finalizing booking our very special in-studio guest for that show. I don't want to reveal who it is yet, but if you do live
Is
in
it Yasser Arafat?
No, it is
Oh.
certainly not.
He's
But
dead.
if you are a resident of the Philadelphia area, you will know who this person is when
Will
we announce
Smith?
it. No, it's not Will
Bon
Smith.
Jovi?
It's not Bon Jovi either.
Oh, fuck.
But he,
Sylvester Stallone?
no,
Sylvester Stallone.
No.
Frank Stallone.
No.
His mom.
Yes. It's
Frank Stallone's mom.
It's Mrs. Stallone. She's coming in. So when we get all that stuff finalized, we will let you know. We are going to be posting closer to our first birthday as well. A nice little recap video of some of the highlights from this past year. A lot of fun. I showed it to Bill last night. So we're looking forward to showing that to you guys as well. And we will keep you guys updated on all of the upcoming breaking movie and TV news on our social media. So make sure you go and give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe to all of our social media platforms on iTunes, on YouTube, wherever you can find our show. For myself, Sean Harrigan, we wanted to say thank you. Bill, what do you want to say to these guys?
I don't fucking care.
All right, Bill doesn't fucking care. We wanted to thank one more time Jim Vejvoda from IGN for
Jim
calling
Vejvoda!
in, for Michael Francolino behind the desk there.
Yeah.
We will have a show coming for you guys soon. Thank you guys for listening, and have a good one.